As you've likely heard by now, Josh was sentenced to 12.5 years in federal prison on Wednesday. Reaction to the news has been mixed, with some commenters expressing relief that Josh won't be able to damage any more lives for a few years, and others decrying the fact that he won't be locked up for longer. At this point, it seems the only ones who wish Josh had received a lighter sentence are his wife and parents. Anna and Michelle wrote letters to the judge on Josh's behalf, and Jim Bob sat beside his daughter-in-law during Josh's sentencing hearing. For the most part, the rest of the Duggars steered clear of the proceedings. Of Josh's 18 siblings, only Joanna Duggar was in attendance at the sentencing. The majority of the family has kept mum in the days since Josh's fate was sealed, but 2 Duggars have actually come forward to speak out against Josh. First, Jill Duggar issued a statement in which she revealed that she feels justice was served, and that the judge did the right thing by sending Josh away for 12 years. Now, in a surprise move, 22-year-old Jason Duggar has also issued a statement in which he expresses public support for the judge's decision. Yesterday, my oldest brother was sentenced to 151 months, around 12.5 years in prison for receiving and possessing CP, Jason wrote on his Instagram story. In my opinion, Judge Timothy L. Brooks was fair in his ruling, giving Josh a sentence that would be considered below the median for the crimes he has committed, he continued. My heart is grieved over the choices my brother has made. His actions do not reflect that of a Christian believer and have doubtlessly defamed my Lord and Savior's name. Jason went on to note that the suffering caused by Josh extends beyond his many victims. Joshua's poor decisions have greatly affected those around him, in particular his wife, 7 children, and our family as a whole, Jason wrote. With that said, I will never stop loving my brother, regardless of what he does. Just as my Savior has forgiven me, so I have forgiven my brother of his wrongdoings, he added, concluding, my prayer is that God will use this circumstance to truly humble him and bring about a true change in his life. Jim Bob, of course, has not spoken publicly in the days since his eldest son was sentenced. But on Reddit and elsewhere, fans speculated that the patriarch is probably not happy with the statements made by Jason and Jill. For me, it's that his actions do not reflect that of a Christian believer. Oh, I imagine Jim Bob just seething as he reads these, one Reddit user wrote. I mean, it's true. The word Christian means Christ-like. Were Josh's actions in any way Christ-like? I'd give anything to ask Jim Bob that and see his reaction, another added. I feel like the siblings are not on the same wavelength as their parents at all, a third chimed in. Though some believe Josh should have received a greater sentence and still fewer believe he should have received a lighter sentence, God has carried out his vengeance today for his unspeakable criminal activity, Jill and husband Derek Dillard wrote in her statement. It is unfortunate, but it seems that it may take spending over a decade in federal prison, and still more on probation, for Josh to have any potential for rehabilitation to the point he can safely live in society again, the couple continued. Hopefully, Josh can actually begin to get treatment and begin to work toward a lifestyle where he is less likely to reoffend. Considering Jim Bob, Michelle, and Anna are holding firm to the belief that Josh was framed, Jill and Jessa are breaking from their parents just by acknowledging that Josh is guilty. Jill cut ties with her parents years ago, but as far as we know, Jason is still on speaking terms with Jim Bob and Michelle. His statement could be an indication that the consensus among Duggar siblings is that Josh is as guilty as he appears. And that could be a sign that Jim Bob no longer enjoys as much control as he once had.